continue to follow breaking news in Boca Raton. 3 people are dead after a plane crash near Boca's airport. 1 person on the ground was hurt. This all happening on North Military Trail. Good afternoon. I'm Jay Jarvis. Our Rachel Perry is at the scene right now with the latest details. Rachel, what can you tell us?
Well, Jade, we just heard from the assistant fire chief for the Boca Raton Fire Rescue, who confirmed, like you said, 3 people died in that plane and 1 person was injured on the ground here in their car. I'll take a step out of your way. We can still see this is still a very active scene. Now, officials say the call came in at 10:12 this morning for a plane in trouble. That plane was leaving Boca Raton Airport. The assistant fire chief saying the plane was having some sort of mechanical issues. The plane went down here on North Military Trail, killing 3 people on board. 1 person has non-life-threatening injuries after officials say they drove through a fireball and crashed into a tree. Again, we know 3 people died and 1 person is injured. This is still an extremely active investigation, so we'll keep you updated as we learn more. For now, live in Boca Raton, Rachel Perry, WPBF 25 News.
Well, while we've gotten here, we have heard multiple witnesses talk to us since this crash happened, and we have all heard the same exact thing, that they all saw that this plane was flying very low. This is a very heavily office area, and some people in office buildings that were a little bit higher up say they were flying almost eye level with the cockpit. That's how low this plane was flying. They didn't know exactly what was going on. They didn't know that the plane was in danger, and then a few moments later, that's when they heard a loud explosion, and multiple people we talked to walked outside and they saw a large fireball. They saw all the debris on the ground here on Military Trail, and all of them felt this, some from at least a block away. They felt a huge vibration here, and there's just a lot of people here in shock as well. We actually talked to one man who tells us that he saw this plane fly around and then he heard that explosion. Here's what he had to say.
I don't think anybody, ever thinks that they're going to see something like this in life. And if I wouldn't have saw that, I probably wouldn't drive over here. I don't think that it's, and prayers to anyone, the families, anyone that was affected by it. But I was just, from seeing that, I was curious, like what had happened. When I was coming over here, I was curious to find out, like, if it was like mechanical failure. I didn't see any smoke from the plane or anything.
Still a lot of confusion out here for a lot of the witnesses. We saw many people walking outside of their office buildings. It seems like some of them have finally moved back inside, but there's still a lot of road closures around this area for people who need to get to work. We know Military Trail is closed. So up near Butts Road, that's closed as well, and just traffic is being directed all over this area. So there's still a bit of confusion, but a lot of shock for the witnesses here in this area. For now, we're live in Boca Raton. Caleb Califano, WPBF 25 News.
All right, Caleb and Rachel, we appreciate you bringing us the latest.